Good morning, students. Today we'll be solving few more numerical problems on gravitation. Question number 1. What will be the change in gravitational force between two objects if one of their masses are doubled and the other one is made one-third, keeping the distance between them as before? These sums can be solved in column method as I have shown, or you can solve normally. In column method, I've made two columns. One is before and the second one is after. So before the change, the first mass is m1. After the change, the mass is doubled, so it becomes 2m1. Second mass is m2. It has been changed to 1/3 m2 as instructed in the question. Distance r remains the same. So according to Newton's law of gravitation, gravitational force F is equal to capital G m1 m2 by r square. So the new value of force will be F dashed, that is equal to G into capital G into 2 m1 into 1/3 m2 divided by r square. Here we are using the changed values of masses. After reduction, we are getting F dashed is equal to 2/3 into G m1 m2 by r square. So we can replace G m1 m2 by r square by F. That means the previous value of force. So the changed value of force F dashed is equal to 2/3 of F. So the force will be reduced to 2/3. Question number 2. What will be the change in gravitational force between two objects if the distance between them is made 4 times? Unlike the previous sums, here distance is being changed, the masses remains the same. This one also we are solving in column method, two columns before and after. So previously the mass of the first body is m1, it remains the same. The second body has mass m2, it is also remaining the same. The distance r is changing to 4r. Gravitational force before the change F is equal to capital G m1 m2 by r square. So the new value of force F dashed is equal to capital G m1 m2 by 4r square. So we can find out 4 square is 16. So F dashed is equal to capital G m1 m2 by 16r square. This can be written as F dashed is equal to 1 by 16 into G m1 m2 by r square. From the first column we are getting G m1 m2 by r square is equal to F. So F dashed is equal to 1 by 16 F. So the value of force is reduced 16 times if we increase the distance between them 4 times. Question number 3. What will be the change in gravitational force between the two objects if one of their masses are halved and the other one is kept same and the distance between them is also made half? So we are making two columns before and after. First mass is m1, which is changed to half m1. Second mass remains the same as m2. Distance was r, now it is changed to half r. Gravitational force capital F is equal to capital G m1 m2 by r square. So the changed value of force F dashed is equal to capital G m1 half m1 into m2 divided by half r whole square. Remember that we have to write whole square, otherwise you will only write square, half will not be squared in that case. So you have to remember that when you are squaring, you have to square the entire number. So F dash is equal to capital G half m1 m2 by 1 by 4 r square. Half whole square gives us 1 by 4. So if you reduce, we are getting f dash is equal to 4 by 2 capital G m1 m2 by r square, or f dash is equal to 2f, because G m1 m2 by r square can be replaced by capital F from the first column. Question number 4. Gravitational force on the surface of moon is only 1/6 as strong as gravitational force on earth. What is the weight in Newton of a 10 kg object on the moon and on the earth? Mass of the object is 10 kg. So weight of the object on earth will be W is equal to mg. Acceleration due to gravity value on earth is 9.8. So W is equal to, we are replacing the value of mass, that is 10 into 9.8, we are getting 98 Newton. Here note that the unit of weight is Newton, unit of weight is not kg, unit of mass is kg. So weight of the object on moon is 1/6 the weight of the object on earth. As gravitational force on the surface of moon is only 1/6, so weight of the object on moon will be 98 by 6, that is 16.3 Newton. Question number 5. A ball is thrown vertically upwards with a velocity of 49 meter per second. Calculate in first part the maximum height to which it rises. Part 2. The total time it takes to return to the surface of earth. Here the initial velocity u is 49 meter per second and the final velocity at the highest point of its motion v is equal to 0, because the body stops. As the ball is moving in the upward direction, it is moving against gravity. So acceleration due to gravity is taken to be negative. So small g is equal to minus 9.8 meter per second square. Let the height be h. We are using the third equation of motion, v square is minus u square is equal to 2gh. So 0 square minus 49 whole square is equal to 2 into minus 9.8 into h. If we solve, we are getting 122.5 meter. In the second part of the sum, it is asked what is the total time it takes to return to the surface of earth. But the time is calculated from the moment it is thrown in the upward direction. So we are calculating the time by the ball to reach the highest point. So let us take the time as t second. We are using the first equation of motion, v is equal to u plus gt. So 0 is equal to 49 plus minus 9.8 into t, because 0 is the final velocity. So t is equal to minus 49 divided by minus 9.8 is equal to 5 seconds. So total time taken to return to the surface of earth by the ball is 5 seconds plus 5 seconds, that is 10 seconds. So time of flight is equal to time of fall. That's why we can take 5 plus 5. Question number 6. Calculate the force of gravitation between the earth and the sun. Given that the mass of the earth is equal to 6 into 10 to the power 24 kg and that of the sun is 2 into 10 to the power 30 kg. The average distance between the two is 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 meter. Here mass of earth we are taking as m suffix c, that is equal to 6 into 10 to the power 24 kg. The value of capital G is 6.67 into 10 to the power minus 11 Newton meter square by kg square. And mass of sun we are taking as ms, that is equal to 2 into 10 to the power 30 kg, and the distance between them is 1.5 into 10 to the power 11 meter. So we are using the mathematical expression for Newton's law of gravitation. Gravitational force F is equal to capital G me into ms by d square. We are substituting all the values given. Remember, the denominator has to be squared. After simplification, we are getting 3.56 into 10 to the power 22 Newton. Now we are coming to question number 7. A stone is thrown vertically upward with an initial velocity of 40 meter per second. Taking small g is equal to 10 meter per second square, find the maximum height reached by the stone. What is the net displacement and the total distance covered by the stone? Here initial velocity u is equal to 40 meter per second and small g is equal to minus 10 meter per second square because it is going against gravity. So we are taking the value of acceleration due to gravity to be minus. Let the distance traveled be h. Here final velocity is equal to 0 at the highest point. We are using the third equation of motion, v square is equal to u square plus 2gh, and we are finding the value of h to be 80 meter after substituting all the values. Now here the net displacement of the stone is 0 because the stone is falling back to the same point. So initial point and the final point of motion are same, but the total distance covered by the stone will be 80 meter plus 80 meter while going up and down. So in total it is traveling a distance of 160 meter. Hope all of you understood the sum. The free fall sums will not be there in your syllabus, but all the other sums are there in your syllabus. Thank you, children.